Hello, this is Jamie Magridge. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card. And let's get started. Let's put these aside for a second. I'm going to be using the gorgeous leaves. I'm using a good portion of the stamps out of here. I'm using this one, this one, this one, and this one for this card. And then I'm going to be using this die and the coordinating dies to cut out the stamps, and that's from the intricate leaves dies that you can get as a bundle right now. And I'm also using this rectangle. It's the stitched rectangles. It's the third from the largest. Okay. Get those out so I have them out. That one. Okay. Now for consumables or paper, I have a double bow that I've tied with the linen thread, a bow that I've tied with the gingham ribbon. Put those aside so I don't misplace them. A piece of early espresso that I'm going to die cut this out of. This is very vanilla. This is the stitched rectangle that we're going to stamp on. I have a piece of the designer series paper, and this is that party pattern, I think it's called. Where is it? I had it out. What did I do with it? Here it is. Yeah, party pattern party. I had it backwards. It's this one's got a whole bunch of different patterns and colors in it. Okay, and this is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. I have a piece of shimmer paper to stamp the leaves on and die cut them out. And then I have a piece of vanilla, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored and folded at 4 1/4. Okay, so let's put these two aside with the ribbons so we know where they are. And let's get started. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is, ink colors. I have crumb cake, cherry cobbler and real red, crushed curry, and saffron. Now those colors are very similar, but they're not. This is the saffron, and this is the crushed curry, and we're going to use both of them. Okay, so on here, this is for the leaves. I need one of the this long leaf here, this one, and this is going to be in the crushed curry color. Need one of those. Okay, and that's all I'm using the crushed curry for. And I'm going to bring in cherry cobbler and real red. We'll need to wash it in between. I need one of these maple type leaves and cherry cobbler. Let's wash it off. Just using my chamois here. I'm done with the cherry cobbler, so let's put that one away. Get out the real red. I need one of these maple leaves in the real red. Let's just put it over here. Okay. I love the real red. I think that's one of my favorite colors. Push that off. Like got it here. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in these dies. I'm going to tape them down with my post-it notes or post-it tape. And I'm going to run these through my die cut machine, and then I will be right back. Okay, I've got those all cut out. Whoops. My 3 leaves and my early espresso branch. Put those aside for a minute. Let's bring in this piece here. And I'm going to start with crumb cake. And I'm going to bring in this one here. I'm going to ink that up with a crumb cake. Stamp it right in the center. Without re-inking, I'm going to move it up and to the right, and I'm going to re-stamp. And then I'm going to do it down here at the bottom a little bit. Just gives a little bit of texture there. Okay, then we're going to go in to the saffron. And this one, I'm going to stamp this a couple times. We're going to stamp it down here at the bottom. And I'm going to stamp it once up here. Okay. Go ahead and wash those while I'm at it. I have one of those cut in half, the chamois. This is what they look like new. I cut one in half, and then I use one side to get the majority of the ink off and the other side to get the rest off. I think I did these already, but make sure. Okay. Alright, now we are ready to assemble this card. It's really a simple card. Alright, I'm going to use my glue. I'm going to put glue on the back of this 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of the Pattern Party Designer Series paper. I'm going to put that on the front of my card base. And it's a 1/4 inch smaller than the front of the card. So it's going to have an 1/8 of an inch border on all 4 sides. Okay. And let's go ahead and assemble. Well, let's go ahead and put it on here, and then we'll assemble it on it. Glue on the back of this. I'm going to center that within that. There we go. Okay, now we're going to bring in our leaves. The darker leaf is going to go down here on the bottom. That one's going to get adhered on with glue. This one and this one are going to get dimensionals on the back, so let's bring those in. We have the dimensionals. You really only need a few of them, but I'm going to add extra because some of the dimensional is going to hold the branch on. Take the backs off of that. Let's do one more. Really don't need this many. You really could get by with 2. Now on this yellow leaf. Off me. Okay. So this one's going to get glued on. Let's go ahead and glue it on. It's going to go about there. Just a little glue on the back. About centered there. Okay, we're going to lay this one on top, like that. I'm going to put a couple little tiny dabs of glue on the back, but it's mostly the dimensionals that's going to hold it in place. Okay, stick that on there. Down a little farther like that. Okay, now this one's going to go here. This one's going to go here. This one's going to cover up all these nasty stems. Okay, we're going to bring in some glue dots. Put a glue dot on the back of each one of these bows. This one I want to roll up a little bit so it's not quite as big. Okay. So now I'm going to put my gingham ribbon one on, right at the top of this yellow one, and the linen thread one right on top of that. There you go, there's our card. Here's the one I did previously. Well, thank you so much for joining me today at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper.